Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about Jamin Davis and how he has been impressing the last week or so during camp and what that could mean for the Commanders defense this year. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 9,000 subscribers. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video, and check out real-time fantasy sports. So as you guys know, the Washington Commanders drafted Jamin Davis with the 19th pick in the first round in the 2021 NFL draft, and he didn't have a good year last year. He did not. They were playing him, or they thought he was going to be a middle linebacker, and he struggled there. Even an outside linebacker struggled a little bit, but he's playing outside linebacker this year. And in minicamp and OTAs, we honestly didn't really hear much about Jamin Davis, and same thing early on in training camp, but slightly before the preseason game and after the preseason game, he's been playing pretty well according to reports. And even in the preseason game, like, he didn't make a ton of standout plays that you could see from the TV copy, but like, you couldn't see any glaring mistakes. And last year when watching him, you definitely could. So this is very, very encouraging for not only Jamin Davis, but also this defense. So this is from John Keim. He says, Jamin Davis is having a good practice. We'll discuss later on the podcast, but just made 3 plays in a row. And it's not like, I can barely think of 3 big plays he made all of last year. So to make 3 in a row, that is huge right there. And I'll show you guys later a little bit of a clip from Jamin Davis in practice, but this is very, very good to hear. I was there in training camp for about 3 practices, and overall, like, it was hard to tell because there's literally 90 guys on the field, and in the drills, they're all over the place. There's like 2 or 3 different fields, but I didn't see any big mistakes from him, and like from what I could see in coverage, he looked pretty good. He was doing pretty good against the linebackers, so definitely a noticeable difference from him from year 1 to year 2, but I think it's been a little bit more these last 7 to 10 days, which is definitely good to hear for sure. And I like this comment right here. He says, he's made jumps like this before in college, seems to need a moment to learn a system. Once he can let instincts and athleticism take over, he's a beast. So, I mean, again, it's very, very early. We don't know. We need to see him actually play, another preseason game, but more importantly, an actual game before we can see how good he is this year. And we don't even need him to be great or even good this year. If he can be average, an average linebacker in year 2, then, and really year 1 of playing outside linebacker in the NFL, that is a big jump from being terrible in year 1 and then being okay in your second year, and then in that year 3, maybe that's when you can expect him to be maybe close to a Pro Bowl type player, maybe. But I think it's good news for sure. And this is from Steve, who's big fan, watched a lot of tape. Says Jamin Davis looks like a different man, and this Stephen Parker fella, sheesh, he makes the team because he can play in the box too. So we'll see if Stephen Parker makes the team, but definitely a noticeable difference with Jamin Davis this year. And yeah, I mean, he was always going to be a project coming out of Kentucky. Only started really 1 year, and then in the NFL he started to play, but then was playing the wrong position, so really didn't even get to play more than 4 games at his actual position that he's playing this year. So here is a clip from Jamin Davis in practice. You can see his you can see him in coverage right here. Does a pretty good job, able to get the pass breakup. Sorry, just gonna mute this right here, and shout out Josh Taylor for the clip. Jamin Davis is right here. He's I think covering that's tight end Eli Wolf, and makes a nice break on the ball. Almost gets the interception, really close, could have been a pick 6, but it's only 1 play, but you love to see that for sure. He's getting smarter. The more snaps more reps he's getting, the better his instincts are getting. So this is good to see from Jamin Davis. I think Sam Howell was the QB right there, and I know I saw people on Twitter talking about this. This is the first team defense against Sam Howell, but he's not getting reps with the ones. It's scout team. Like, all these guys right here are 3rd stringers on offense right now. So that is just something to keep in mind. So I'll show you guys this one more time, because I think this is a good clip and shows Jamin Davis' improvement in coverage. All right, and here is a tweet from John Keim with a quote from J.D. McKissic saying, a quote from J.D. McKissic on linebacker Jamin Davis. He says, looks like a totally different player. So guys are taking notice, And, it's a good quote from J.D. McKissick. And we've heard things in the past, but again, we got to see it first to, believe it. But definitely encouraging signs. I think Jack Del Rio said good things about him. Ron Rivera, Cole Holcomb as well, saying he looks totally different. So, it's just, we're going to have to see it in the games. And then Zach Selby, just a specific play that Jamin Davis made. He said, Jamin Davis brings in an interception after the ball popped up in the air on a collision by Dax and a DB. So, it's not an amazing play, or I didn't see it, but it looks like he was just in the right place at the right time, but he saw the ball in the air, made the play, and those are the types of plays you need to make. Those are game-changing plays that he really did not make last year. He didn't make that many game-changing plays. Really, maybe a couple game-changing plays, no turnovers. I don't think he forced a single turnover. I don't think he recovered a single fumble, forced a fumble, had an interception, anything like that. Sorry, I had one sack on the year, and it was against, I think that was the last game of the season against Jake Fromm. So I think he's going to have a bigger year. We'll see how much, better he is from year 1 to year 2, because I can almost guarantee it. I will guarantee it. Jamin Davis will be better than he was last year, but that's not saying much. The question is how much better, because if he is significantly better, if he's an average starting linebacker in this league this year, that's a big improvement from what he was last year, and that'll really help out the defense, because you go from, having a liability at linebacker to having an average linebacker, and that'll, move up the defensive ranks, that alone, a few spots. And then if he can become better than okay, if he can be above average, that'll help even more. And then, of course, if he can be elite linebacker in a couple years, that'll help even more. But I'm getting ahead of myself right there. I'm just hoping he's average this year, because if he is, that's a huge step up for the defense. But still, I think the linebacker depth is questionable. But at this point, it's August 19th. It's kind of late to add another linebacker. They still could, but it's getting, the more time passes, the, less likely that it is that they sign another linebacker. So, that's just my thoughts. I still think AJ Klein would be a good depth signing, but we will see. But for sure, encouraging signs from, Jamin Davis, hearing it not only from reporters, from players, from people that are there. So that is good for sure. And I wanted to see, for Jamin Davis, we saw it, in a game, in the preseason game, saw in practice. Let's continue to see. We got 2 more preseason games. I think Ron Rivera said something like that they're trying to play the starters about a half. I think that's what I saw. So hopefully Jamin Davis plays a half, and if he can play like he did last week, and just show improvement from year 1 to year 2, a big improvement, that'll, he just got to keep doing that. And then in preseason game 3, if if the starters play, let's see him play good again. And that's just building those good reps really helps translate to the start of the season. So that's what we need to see from Jamin Davis before the start of the season. Yeah, Cole Holcomb, I feel like he's going to be good this year. Jamin Davis is a question mark, but if he can play well, this defense is going to improve drastically, in my opinion, and if they can stay healthy. And also, just them playing a way easier schedule, especially offensively, will move up the ranks a ton. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. We got a preseason game tomorrow. I will have a recap on that when it's done. So should be a good one. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.